Namo Buddhaya, all of them are brother and sister. One of my students, the disciple Fred, was asking me to do some Dharma presentation at the occasion of this multiple virtue collection month. Sagadawa it is called, the Tibetan, the fourth month, Tibetan lunar calendar is considered 4 month, the Sagadawa. And it's considered very precious and very auspicious because this coming full moon, maybe 5th of June or 6th of June, 5th of June, that full moon is, that is connected with Buddha's Enlightenment Day, birthday, and Parinirvana Day. Is commemorate of these precious days of the Buddha's life. So it's called Sagadawa. And Tibetan peoples, they believe that all of this full month is started from May 23rd, somewhere, 21st or 23rd, it goes to till 22nd or 23rd of June. This whole month is considered, the multiplied month. Once somebody accumulates some virtue, recites some mantra, do circumambulation, and whatever they do the virtuous things too by their body, verbally, and mentally, all those goes to in multiple ways. So that's why it's very auspicious and precious. Is considered Sagadawa, the Tibetan lunar calendar, the 4th month. So it's Sagadawa. Actually, there is different concept between Theravadin country and this Tibetan Buddhist concept here. According to the Theravadin country, that Vesak Day was finished in the last full moon in May 7, isn't it? That all of the Theravadin countries, Sri Lanka, Burma, Thailand, Cambodia, Laos, as well as Singapore, Malaysia, or they already have celebrated. Me too. According to my concept, that is, I think, matching with the Buddha's biography, Buddha's history, the history, because those countries are only connected with Buddha Shakyamuni, and they don't have concept of Avalokiteshvara, the Manjushri, and Tara, Vajrapani, and so and so. They're only focusing on the Buddha. I think their historical background is more clear than us based on the Buddha's biography. Anyhow, it doesn't matter. This is the object of, the pure devotion and faith. So even we believe this month as a Vesak month, the Sagadawa, and coming the full moon is connected with Buddha's birthday, Enlightenment Day, and Parinirvana Day. It doesn't matter. Once our mind is very clear, very fair, is connected with unconditional devotion, blessing is there, and things are there. So it's okay for me, as everything is, the projected from our own mind. Everything is designed by our own mind. It doesn't matter. The main thing is our pure motivation and pure clear mind, isn't it? So what I'm going to say is actually because of my disciple Fred, he was saying about these things. The other things nowadays in all over the world, there is a panic situation due to this COVID-19, isn't it? So every people are very, very frightened and very scared with this disease. And it's lockdowning since, the 18 March or somewhere. I have forgotten. Anyhow, it's almost more than 2 months is lockdown situation. So we cannot go outside unless we have some urgent work. And we are making social distancing and quarantine, how to say, lot of things we need to follow because we need to save our life from this infection of COVID-19. So me too, also quarantined and isolated in my center, Tsopema Bodhicitta Foundation, since 18 March till today, still going on. Then, as I'm a Buddhist follower, I feel to me, it's good for me. Yet it's not good because samsara is getting problem and they are getting difficulties with this infection disease, and every people is scared and frightened about this disease. So what to do? There is not reparation. What to regret? Because already there is no treatment. Unless, some vaccines and medicines will be appear through by scientists and doctors. No choice. So we need to be isolated. We need to be quarantined and social distance, and we need to be clean ourselves. So no choice. So we are in quarantine and we are in isolation. To me, other hand, it's very good for me. Normally, I'm running here and there, going to abroad and also in India, going to here and there. Of course, is for helping to other peoples due to some reason to make some presentation of Buddha Dharma, as we are Buddhist Acharya. But always rushing here and there, flying here and there, always waiting on a railway station, waiting at airport, so very rushed and too exhausted. So actually, in fact, need to do practice as well as we says we are Buddhist teacher. So to me, it is golden opportunity to collect strong virtue and to, develop the insight meditation. So I'm using this all period for that. So that's why I couldn't able to shape my beard, and I didn't shape my hair for more than 1 month. I will be shaved it after a few days. It doesn't look good, as I'm a Buddhist teacher. It doesn't look good. I know that. But other way, it's natural. It's nothing. It's not virtue, non-virtue. But it's not matching for the Buddhist teachers, the monks, and so. But just I leave it there. And in other hands, I don't have blades and the the shaving instrument. I have, but it's old. I need to buy the new blades, the shavers. And then now all shops are open. I can buy it and I can shave it. It doesn't matter. And don't worry, I'm not old actually, because of I'm not old, cannot say not old, I'm old, but I'm not that much, that I'm not that much very old. I don't feel it. I'm energetic and everything is okay. Of course, I'm old. I'm 50 over, yeah? So I'm old, but it looks a little bit ugly, but to me, it doesn't matter. It's ugly or not ugly. I don't have any conception and don't have any attachment. It's just a natural. So just I keep in this way. So like this. So I'm doing, some practice and some spending this period with the good concept of Buddhist study, meditation, recitation of mantra, as well as prayers for all mother sentient beings. May this panic infection of this COVID-19 will be disappear as soon as possible. It has some duration. Definitely it will be disappear after a few months or as soon as possible. I feel it so. So why need to frighten? Why need to be too much scared? Everything have solution, isn't it? So better if you people also know how to do the meditation, know how to do meditation, how to recite mantras and prayer, how to do yogas and this and that. Must use all of those techniques for your safety of your mental condition and physical condition. So I'm feeling this. My point of view is like this. According to my perspective, I'm thinking this way. So I'm using this timing with full of practice as much as I can do, according to my capability and potential. How much I can do, I'm putting all of effort for this thing. So, so what to say about the Dharma? So, Dharma, this month is very auspicious and very precious to collecting virtue, but every moment is very precious to collecting virtue, the good things, good karma. There is not any limitation. This month you can do, that month you cannot do. No, don't have any boundary line. Anytime you can do, anytime you hold bodhicitta, mind for enlightenment, then you can hold the thinking in your mind full of love, compassion, harmony, and the understanding of wisdom. Then you can use your verbal action towards to others, how you need to speak with them, how you inspire to them. Also from the body action, we can collect a lot of virtue, helping other people, doing circumambulation, offering something towards the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, so and so, So we can do ourselves, Always I'm thinking, what is the Dharma? What is the Dharma thing? Dharma thing is, the holding pure mind within us. What does mean of pure mind? Hold compassion towards all sentient beings. Hold, the loving kindness towards all sentient beings. If you cannot help to them, at least don't hurt them. At least don't disturb them. Don't think about harming to them. Even if you can able to do these things, then still you are good and you are doing the good things according to, the morality of human beings, as we are human beings, What is different between animal and human beings? Sometimes, animals are more better than us. They looks like more better than us. Nowadays, we are more worse than animals. Animals, they have also some morality. Anyhow, they have some discipline. But we always break discipline. Real human beings need to have some special quality of good thinking of love, compassion, and harmony, and act from our speech, act from our body. If you could able to do that things, that is the real humanity, according to the Dharma understanding. Otherwise, says, that otherwise, what difference between animal and us? Animal also eat, animal also sleep, animal also do the sexual things. The animal also eat, we also eat. So what is the special things into the human beings? That is the Dharma. Dharma is what? The holding the pure mind, which is connected with love, compassion, and harmony, as well as with wisdom, and act precisely, correctly, which is help to other beings as well as help to self. First, helping to other beings thinking. Action towards to helping others. The verbally, physically, whatever so. It's called in Buddhist perspective, the bodhicitta, metta bhavana, So this is the holding the clear motivation, pure motivation to love to all sentient being, help to all sentient being, every sentient being, holding compassion towards every sentient being, loving kindness, as well as the equality understanding between each other, the harmonious thinking, that is the real quality of human beings. So this is the specific quality of human being. Otherwise, what difference between animal and us? Ahara nidrabe metunacha samanya metat pashubiri naramanam dharmo hitesham adhiko vishesha dharmene hina pashubis samana. This is Sanskrit stanza. Somewhere I memorize it and spontaneously is coming from my mouth. There says eating, sleeping, the scary mind, and sexual conducts. These four things are same between animals and human beings. then what is the special quality into the human being? That is the Dharma. Dharma is what? To holding the perfect conduct and character, which is connected with pure mind, which has some special quality of love, compassion, harmony, moral ethics, wisdoms. Through by that, then human beings act from their mouth and body. Otherwise, if they don't have these ground qualities, which we have already within us, but we have forgotten it. We don't want to look at on it. Just we, see from our eye, listen from our ear, smell from our nose, taste from our tongue, and tangible feeling from our body. Just we catch it, hold it, then we hold craving and grasping, hatred, so and so, and all the suffering, sorrows, lamentations, anxieties, tensions, frustrations, all the roots, goes to this attachment and this desire and this hatred mind, which root is the ground ignorant, what we call, what is correct, what is incorrect. We don't want to define it. We don't want to discriminate it. Just whatever we think, we do. Whatever we act, we act. Then all things goes to the wrong direction. Then our mind become polluted. Yet our mind nature is very clear and clean, because itself is Buddha inside, isn't it? Its nature itself is the real Buddha. Is unpolluted by nature. But the accidental, adventitious stance covered it from outside, but cannot cover to the nature, otherwise we cannot wash it. So nature is clear and clean. Its nature is its nature is emptiness plus the clear knowledge is inseparable in the ground way. It says primordial ground mind is there. But unfortunately, we miss the goal and we run after the outer object, form, sound, smell, taste, tangible things. We run after that and we think those are real, catch it, then grasp it. Then when things are happen there, because things are always change, isn't it? We think those are truly exist. We think those are independent, entity, inherently truly exist things. We impute it through by our mind, but there, the nature is not like that. All natures of all phenomena is just elusive. Those are all like just a mirage, just like the Gandharva Nagara, how to say, is a heavenly city, just like a water bubble, just like a dream, just like how to say, just like how to say, just like a magic, those are not real, not truly exist. Those are existing on the base on cause and condition. Everything is conditional. There is nothing is unconditional. Whatever we see, whatever we listen, whatever we smell, whatever we get taste, whatever we feel with our body conscious, everything is conditional. All things are compound. Their nature, their very, very nature is impermanent. So that's why Buddha says, Sarva Sanskritam Anityam. All compound things are what? All impermanence. All contaminated things are miserable. Sarva Sashrava Dugdhayaka. All the phenomena are selflessness. Sarva Dharma Anatamam. There is not any solid, the self, solidity, self somewhere existing in our body or somewhere in outside. Don't have any solid and independent soul there. Even that these soul things are, they are imputation of our mind. Just we think that is the solid, we catch it, grasp it. That is also, the how to say, depending on our five aggregates. Just we are imputing them, it is soul and this and that. Without relying on five aggregates, you cannot find any souls. Conventionally, soul's condition is just fake, just impermanence, just elusive. But we think is, the real and this and that. So that's why we always miss the goal. So we go away from our, the real nature of things, and mind become very, very egoistic, and then we grasp to self, and also, our attitude also becoming cherishing our individual body, self-cherishing attitude comes into us. So this self-grasping and self-cherishing attitude is the biggest enemy in order to understand the reality, the truth. The self-grasping, I. When you go to analyze these I's, you cannot find I. Of course, in conventionally, we use I, my. In fact, we cannot find their solid, the entity of permanent I and permanent my. Things are there in all impermanence way. So that's why in the Dharma pada, I already mentioned in the last lecture, or what, I don't know, in the last Vesak day, I was saying, the Buddha says, what he was saying in the Dhamma pada, in the chapter of the path of Dharma, he was saying this, how to say, Sabbe Sankhara Anicchati Yada Panyaye Passati Atani Bindati Dukhe Esamago Visuddhya. All the compound things are, conditional things are, all impermanent. When you are able to look at that reality with your own experience, with the clear wisdom through by the vipassana. Vipassana is the wisdom understanding the impermanence. Wisdom understanding impermanence. Wisdom the realizing impermanence, and in very profound way realizing emptiness. That is, when you able to experience it, look at this reality through by your own experience, then no suffering is, that remain with you. This is the path of purification, something Buddha says. And the next verses also he was saying that sabbe sankhara dukkhati yada panyaya passati at nibibandati dukesma go visuddhya. When you see all the contaminated things are all miserable, all suffering, all contaminated things are all miserable. When you are able to see with the eye of wisdom, pranjana, panya, through by it, that all samsaric things are source of suffering, is the fruition of suffering. When you are able to see it, then suffering never remain in your mind. Then it slowly dissolves itself there. This is the way of purification, path of purification. And after that, the Buddha was saying, Sabbe Dhamma Anattati Yada Panyaya Passati Atanibi Banditi Duke Esmago Visuddhya. And when we see all the phenomena are selflessness, don't have any solidity inside as like self, which is independent. When you see through by wisdom eye, there is not any independent solid soul or self there. Self also, what we use in conventional way, that is also, the depending with the five aggregates, Rupa, Vedana, Sangya, Samskara, and Vijnana. We impute it, they are depending each other. If you remove all of these five aggregates, you cannot find any soul. That is conventional. The changing the soul, the changeable soul. That is, the Buddha never, ignore it. It is here. Buddha says, I am Buddha, you are my disciple. He don't use this thing, but I am your teacher, you are my disciple, something like this. Definitely he was, I am eating, you disciple, go there, teach Dharma. These are conventional things. These all presentations are functioning upon the base of the impermanent status. The problem is start when we catch it, we think when it's the permanent and this. When understand there is not permanent self through by wisdom, through by vipassana meditation, the wisdom meditation. Vipassana means don't think that it is only connected with Theravadin way. The great Mahamudra practice also, that is connected with vipassana. Great Dzogchen practice also is connected with the vipassana. The middle way, the Mahayanic, all of the wisdom, Pranjana Paramita, it itself is vipassana. It's called in Tibetan terms Lakthong, the looking inside through by superior wisdom, the looking at on the truth as it is, that is the vipassana. So when you check with your inner realization of pranjana towards to the self is there or not, cannot find any self. Only conventional, the changeable self is there. There is not any independent, solid, inherently exists soul, cannot find at all. So that's why things are all impermanence. So that's why we need to understand all of these things. Yeah. Many of people says the Buddha's teachings are, pessimistic, the pessimistic view. It is not a pessimistic view. It is the realistic view. When you know this reality, you get a lot of blessing through by that understanding. You become detached. Your love, compassion, and harmony develop. That is evaluate and able to help to others, as well as you become near to the stage of enlightenment through by all of bodhisattva's path. So it's not a pessimistic view. It is the realistic view. So that the Buddha Dharma is always teaching you to follow the middle way. It's not totally pessimistic. It's not totally the optimistic. It's the middle way, but it's the way of realistic, the way of awakening, the way of truth, way of the mind development. How can you come out from all of disorders, especially this craving and grasping, which is the main root of all suffering, all lamentation, anxiety, frustration, so and so. All miseries come through by this understanding when you hold something as it truly exists. So, this is very important to understand what I'm thinking according to the Buddhist perspective way. Buddhist perspective, yeah. So yeah, we need to collect virtue through by our body, mind, and speech. First, we need to mind. First, our mind very clear and clean. Once mind is very clear and clean, we need to have devotion and faith towards to our Guru, Tathagata Buddha, who have shown us the path to the stage of liberation and enlightenment. And after that, we need to have compassion, the bodhicitta, towards to all mother sentient beings, as well as we need to have to effort to step up on the teachings what we are receiving through by our ear conscious, through some of authentic teacher who have experience and who have perfect information of Buddha Dharma, precisely, correctly, the persistently, constantly, we need to listen at, remember at, through by our sati and samprajana, through by our mindfulness and awareness. Then we need to think, contemplate as much as possible, more and less, how much we can able to step up. We need to step up. Then I think really we could able to understand the reality. Otherwise, people have nowadays a habit to listening Dharma, habit to receiving empowerment, and nobody want to do, the practice. If you don't understand the basic Buddha Dharma, such as presentation of Four Noble Truth, what is the suffering? What is the origin of suffering? How can we cease suffering? And what is the way? What is the antidote? If you do not know all of those basic ground Buddha's nectar instructions, how could we able to receive such as a high, the level teaching, such as understanding of emptiness, understanding of great compassion, then in the Vajrayanic way, the empowerment, the deity, meditation upon hidden deity, the stages of, the meditation upon generation state, completion state, the inseparability stage. How can we understand? Please mind your own business. What I'm saying is this. I myself also have some difficulties when I try to apply these things, what information I have. When I try to apply in our mind, it's not easy, very, very difficult. Once you try it day by day, the 5 second, 10 second, 1 minute, 5 minute, 10 minute, half an hour, day by day, if you become habituated, even in conceptual way, then slowly it's become into non-conceptual way, then you can get some understanding of Dharma into your mind. Think. Then you can get some understanding of it. I'm not a very high practitioner and not a very high titleic Rinpoche and this and that. Through by my previous virtue and previous some good karma, I become this stage of Buddha Dharma followers. And in this period, this COVID-19 gave me a good opportunity to do some practice, in order to understanding Buddha Dharma precisely through by some experience and some realization. I get some golden opportunity. I feel it so. And I read in there in the Kadampas some key instructions, apply all of hindrance and obstacles when they pass to you, apply them into and transform them into the way of, the path of bodhisattva and way of enlightenment. So this is, one hand, it is very big obstacle and hindrance for us. Every people's life is stopped almost to earning money and doing business and this and that. In the other hand, it's helping us to understand the reality, understand the reality. We are individually very powerful, in fact, because we get the wrong habit since childhood to till today, because we want to gather with many people, eat with many people, talking with many people, stay with many people, attending this meeting, that meeting, this gathering, that gathering, birthday, the death ceremony, and so, there are many things. So that is samsaric circumstances, samsaric things. Of course, it's important anyhow, but the reality is different. You must be alone. Check your mind individually, personally. Find inside the mind itself is how peaceful, how calmness, how natural, how spontaneous. Just check yourself slightly, fix your body in meditation posture, loose all your muscles, relax yourself, focus on your top of nostril, observe your breathing without attachment and hatred, then slowly check all over your body. What is it? Is it solid or not solid? Then check your, the sensation. Then check your mind. Then check the aggregates, 5 aggregates, 12 faculties, and so and so. When you totally check over all of those things, yeah, when you become habituated, and slowly, you know what is the meditation through by your experience. Then automatically you lead by your own experience to the progressive stages of all of meditation, Shrotabran, the Sakrita Agami, Anagami, Arhata, and the path of accumulation of merit, path of application, path of seeing, path of not meditation, path of no more learning. Everything must, the learn by ourselves, through by our mind. The outer teachers only show you the path. Yeah. So we need to step up on it. I mentioned this is very, very important quotation from the Dhammapada. Yeah. Buddha have shown the path to liberation. You need to put effort to step up on that path. Once you already stepping up through by your own effort, through by your listening wisdom, contemplating wisdom, meditating wisdom, then all the network of maras become cut off itself through by your realization. Wisdom, understanding emptiness, wisdom realizing impermanent, wisdom realizing impermanent, shunyata, so and so. You can understand through by insight how much you go in deepest way, all disorders itself is disappear, itself wash up. How much the disorders are wash up, that much you close to the reality and you develop yourself. But you need to put effort yourself. Tume hikichanga tappang, akhataro tathagata, patipanno pa mokhanti jayino marabandana. Buddha only can show you the path of Dharma. If teacher can push you to the path to the Dharma and he push until you reach to the state of enlightenment, before Buddha, before he was doing the 6-year meditation, he followed many teachers. Why they don't push him to the state of enlightenment? He followed many teachers. He couldn't satisfy it. All are halfway just. Then he made determination. Unless I myself realize the truth, unless I myself realize what is the root of suffering, I never stand up from this seat. Whether my flesh dry, my bone broken, my blood broken, whatever happened with me, I don't want to move from this seat. He sat there and he did the continually meditation. He got enlightened and he searched out these things, isn't it? So these are inspirations for us. But we are not Buddha. But we have capability and potential of Buddha. So that's why it says in the sutra, all sentient beings are pervaded by Buddha nature. But unfortunately, it's obscured by adventitious stands. And those stands are all adventitious, all accidental. Those are washable because their nature is changeable. Their nature is impermanence. Their nature is elusive. So that's why once we realize it itself is disappear. So that's why we need to put effort to do meditation ourselves, isn't it? So I think I went through a little bit in profound way. What I'm going to encourage to you is Buddha Dharma is so precious. There is not any tenet system, no any, of course, in academic way, there are many tenet systems. In order to understanding reality, you don't need to follow any tenets. You don't need to follow any tradition. You don't need to follow any, culture. Just you need to follow the clear rule and regulation of Buddha Dharma. You need to have the clear moral ethics within you. 3 from body, not killing other beings, no allowed to killing other beings. No sexual misconduct, no stealing, no using intoxication. These are morality belonging to the body in gross way. Then other way, no stealing, no telling lie, not speaking idle talks, and not using harsh speech and not using divisive speech. These are morality from our verbal speech. And not holding questionless thought, not holding, the anger thoughts, and not holding the wrong view thoughts. Just opposite of all it is all virtue, non-violence, not using intoxication, not doing sexual misconduct, not stealing, pleasantly speaking, meaningful speaking, the meaningness, which has a meaning to helping to others and self. That type of talking is, allowed to speak. Pleasant speaking, truth speaking, the speaking which make people, the integrate, unified, make friendship, this type of, those are virtue. Those are moral ethics from speech, not holding desire into mind, not holding hatred into mind, believing into cause and its effect, because in fact, the samsara is created by our own karma. It's not created by any Allah, Bhagavan, and Prabhu, according to the Buddhist perspective. Understand? So we need to understand. We no need to blame any of other tradition, other tenets, other theology, this and that. Just we need to put our work towards the Dharma in order to understanding the reality, in order to benefiting all mother sentient beings. Conventionally, we need to create bodhicitta into us. We need to be habituated with love, compassion, and harmony. May all sentient beings feel happy. That prayer must be connected with your wishing to have happy to all sentient beings. May all sentient beings separated from suffering. This prayer, the terms, the letters, the sentence must be connected with your pure motivation to wishing nobody gets suffering. Then its function. Then as well as mudita, understanding of equanimity among all human beings. This type of thinking comes to you, then bodhicitta will be developed. You need to be habituated. Not only recite the dry prayers. It has some advantages, some benefits. I don't know. But if you have a real understanding of all of things, why you are reciting prayer with pure motivation, it's become real prayer. According to the Buddhist perspective, what I'm thinking is this. As well as understanding of any kind of difficulties, physically, mentally, what kind of difficulties face to us. At the time, we need to know things are impermanent. To say, today, the difficulties are facing to me, tomorrow it will disappear. This type of understanding, There are too many things to talk to you. If I make the summarize of it, you can understand. Don't create any of evil deeds. You must not create yourself. Nobody help to you, not creating evil deeds to you. It's very rare, it's difficult, but you are the boss of yourself. What Buddha mentioned into the Dhammapada, you are the master of yourself. You are your own master. Nobody is your master. You are your own moment. You are your own witness, and many, many quotations there. So we are our own master. So what our mind says, we do. So encourage to your mind to don't create any evil deeds and act according to that understanding. So no chance to create any evil deeds, isn't it? Accumulate all of virtues. And the virtuous things which is helping to others and helping yourself, just do it. First think and then do. Then control on your mind through by shamatha meditation. Vipassana in Tibetan said, jine langtong. Yeah, jine rabdu tempe langtong gi nyomo nombra jombra chi jine tomra jine tsalja dihan jigin chapa me langong tu. Once you don't have an experience of calm abiding meditation, samatha meditation, then your vipassana become very weak. It cannot become antidote to wash up all of disorders. First, you need to, from your shamatha meditation perfect way, precise way, Then after that, apply into the Vipassana, and that Vipassana become very strong antidote in order to wash up all of disorders. When disorders are start to wash up, then the realities start to understand inside through by your experience and realization. So like that. Attai atano natho, koyi natho parosya. Who is your master? You are the master of you by yourself. You are your own master. Buddha's nectar speech are amazing. No one, the instruct in this way. So that's why Buddha is today the guru of all world, who can able to understand Buddha, he become guru of everybody. Because there is not any fake system, no any bland system there. Understanding? Just he tried to teach us what is the Dharma, what is the reality, how you could able to understand that reality, what is the technique. And that technique is called the path of Dharma, the Eightfold Path. Understanding of impermanence, understanding of suffering, understanding of selflessness, and it's a profound way understanding of pranjana paramita, emptiness, then understanding of clear light mind, luminous mind, the many progressive stages there. So that's why, it's very important. Don't be frightened with this panic situation. So if our karma is enough strong, if our immune system is enough strong, you never die, don't worry. If something happened with you, if you have Dharma understanding within you, that Dharma understanding definitely helped you. I feel it. I have some experience of it. So thank you very much, because I talk very long, but still have 10 minutes. 10 or how much? Yeah, few minutes for the 1 hour. I wish to speak furthermore. Yeah. How looks I? Yeah. I like this. It's nature. Yeah. It's the nature of aging. Yeah. It's the nature of my face. Yeah. So I want to look at my nature. What is it? Before every day I shaved it, then put this one, lotion which is burning it, then apply some cream because for the antiseptic. Yeah. So looks very, how to say beautiful or handsome. I don't know. So this is making up. Yeah. This is nature. Yeah. Look, it's nature. I love this, but I need to cut off it. You don't worry. I'm okay, I'm healthy, but I know I'm impermanence, as I'm always instruct about the impermanence, through by the Buddha's nectar speech, Buddha Amritavani, yeah? So like that. So, if you have this realization within you, I don't think you need to scatter with some bad energy, some demons, some spirits, some ghosts, and this and that. Because those ghosts and demons and black energies, and those are also very, very impermanent, like a mirage, Mirage, do you know? What does mean of mirage? In the desert, in summertime, very strong sunshine, yeah? Sunshine, the sunshine goes to the the sand. From far away, you can see there is big lake like an ocean because it's reflecting there. When you go there, you cannot find any water there. Just it's the reflection system of sun through by the sun rays. Yeah, so it looks like that. So says that the deers. Yeah, the deers when they get thirsty, especially in the desert. When they become very thirsty, then they see this mirage. They think, wow, there is the water. So they run. You cannot reach there. Because how much they run, the mirages go far away. Because actually it is only reflection of water. Not exist there water anymore. They are no existing. So finally the deer become die. So similar this way, all phenomena are likewise mirage, yeah? It looks like real. It looks like truly exist because of our deluded mind, because of our ignorance, because of our, the overpowered attachment and desire. When you try to catch it, hold it, when we see there is not solidity inside, then we become shocked. We become shocked, and some people suicide themselves. Some people have heart attack and this and that. Yeah, if we know earlier these things, then more better. Yeah. So now let me know what Buddha is trying to say us: fake things or real things. So that's why because of this samsara is fake. But I'm using this fake, but it's illusory samsara. No matter rich people, poor people, the beggar or whatsoever. Look, now this virus came, yeah, this COVID-19 came, yeah. I think the rich peoples are more scared because they don't want to die. Because those people have a very big property, countless money with them. I mean, too much money. They have a car, buildings, hotels, too much money, gold, jewelry, everything. But they don't want to lose it. They're scared. If I die, what about my property? What about my money? What about my family? What about my factory? What about my company? They're worried about it. Sometimes I feel, many people are dying because of this mental virus. I'm not talking about COVID-19, but the mental virus, the scary virus, the egoistical, how to say, attachment virus, which is more dangerous, yeah. So I'm thinking this sometimes. What do you think? Please check yourself. I'm not criticizing any of people. Even nowadays, when they are saying that due to this COVID-19, people are dying this and that, I think those are very, very weak from their heart because they don't want to die. They attach themselves very much through by their property and that. So because of it, they're scared very much. Anyhow, they have some diseases already, some kidney disease, the liver disease, heart disease, high blood pressure, diabetic and this. Then they become too much worried, too much become psycho. Through by it, also somehow the virus also there or not there, I don't know. Because of this, I think there are many things are happening with this. I'm feeling this through by my understanding. It's true, I think so. So that's why. And other way, this is our collective karma, this virus, yeah. So we need to accept it. Accept means I'm not saying that don't be quarantine yourself, don't make social distance yourself, don't clean your hand with sanitizer, and don't put marks on your mouth. Every precaution, the safety things, you must follow. I'm not saying we need to save ourselves. This is the solution only. So what I'm going to say is things are impermanent. The impermanent things believe as impermanent. That means you are a very wise person. Only understanding the materialistic presentation, that doesn't function for human life. Human life is function with the pure motivation. Human life is function with love, compassion, and harmonious thinking. Without them, without this quality, humanity is finished. When humanity is finished, what difference between barbaric people and animals and what difference is same? So today why people have a lot of problems about this environmental problems, global warming. Who created it? Allah, Prabhu, Bhagwan, God? No, we did mistake ourselves. Who polluted this clear environment? Through by our mistake, because we are using too much chemicals. Because of that, all air circle become full of carbon dioxide. So all oxygen become, dangerous. The carbon dioxide gas is growing more than more, and oxygen is becoming lesser than lesser. Tomorrow, if there is not oxygen, only carbon dioxide, tell me, that is more dangerous than this virus, isn't it? What is nowadays happening it? So we need to take care of ourselves a lot, Sometimes I don't understand, Sometimes the scientists those are great, and they have found such a high technology in order to protect human beings, medicines, doctors, and so many machineries to check up our health, and this and that, these aeroplanes, and many, many things are very good for human beings. But in the other hand, why they are creating too dangerous chemicals, these nuclear weapons and this and that? Look, nowadays, everywhere tension with borderline. One by one, they want to show they are arrogant. Already having these difficulties, already facing in human society, all of this virus and this and that. But still, they are not getting any inspiration from this disaster. Still, they are thinking to fight each other's, becoming too much arrogant, proudy. Why? Why they are not understanding it? Is money is everything? If the all environmental situation is become risk to your life, if there is no life, what for money? What for facilities? What for? Why they are not thinking like this? Sometimes, it's very, very, very difficult to understanding. Why they are not thinking safe to everybody? And when they use some weapons to other country, why they are not thinking that environmental airs and pollutions comes to their country, as well as they're killed by their weapon to them, how they are trying to kill to others. Why they are not thinking, And other weather corruptions. Nowadays, I have watching in the Indian news, the medicals, the field, they have a lot of corruptions. Their politicals they are blaming each other. If really they are doing these corruptions into the medical field, which donation comes from public or government in order to help to those people who are infected, if they are eating those money to save their family and those and that people, what do you think? They are safe? They go to the hell, No need to go to hell. Within this life, this body, they can get result definitely, because their motivation is wrong. So how to tell them these stories? So messy. So all noble beings such as Buddhas, Guru Padmasambhava, Guru Rinpoche, and all of the the previous ancient, the Buddhas till the great practitioner, they already predicted a near future there will be a lot of disaster from 4 elements, disbalancing of 4 elements, and the human, the arrogant, egoistical fighting, competition fighting, expectation fighting, different views fighting. This will be happened and already predicted. Who knows? This situation is already nearby and already happening it. So that's why we ourselves, individual, we need to think very seriously. So Buddha Dharma is very precious. Buddha Dharma is, if you could able to understand, it has a lot of blessing. There is not any blind belief things. In fact, when you apply into the meditation, when you realize through by inner experience, it's totally become beyond philosophical view, conceptual view, intellectual view, theological, is totally beyond theology, dogma, creed, tradition, culture, doesn't function. Just, the empty space, clear mind, with unconditional, infinite love, compassion, and harmony will connect with it, which brings a lot of energy and blessing in order to saving all mother sentient beings. How the Buddha did this job for 45 years, turning the wheel of Dharma in order to all of sentient beings without making any discrimination of color, face, and caste system, just giving nectar to every sentient being. So may this type of understanding flourish in the world again, and human life will be saved. Not only human life, all sentient beings, all mother sentient beings' life will be saved. All mother sentient beings feel happy, separated from suffering, and liberated from horrible stage of this type of samsara. This is my, the dedication and aspiration prayer. As the Shantideva mentioned to the 10th chapter of Bodhicharya Avtara, the chapter of dedication, how long the space is remain there, the empty clear space is remain there, that long sentient beings are there. As well as I myself remain that period and take rebirth again and again, and able to remove all sentient beings suffering. Something like that, he made dedication. Akashasastri yavat cha jagata sithiti tavan mam sithitri bhuya jagad dukkhani nignata. It is in Sanskrit. Acharya Shantideva mentioned into this dedication prayer, the soul meditation to remove all of suffering of sentient beings and origin of all blissfulness situation of sentient beings. That is the Buddha Dharma. May this Buddha Dharma remain as long as possible with good reverence, sponsorship, and good way in this world in order to benefiting all sentient beings. Jagad dukkhaek beshajyam sarva sampat sukhakaram labh satkar sahitam chiram tishtatu shasanam. Manju gosham namasyami yasya prasadan mate shubhe kalyana mitram vande aham yasya prasadach vartate. Dashadik vayam paryant sattva artha sadhane yatha charitam manju gosham sa ev charya bhaven mama. The Bodhicharya Avtara, Acharya Shantideva's the dedications are very, very blissful, saying that, I'm praying to Manjushri because his guru was Manjushri. Manjushri, which Manjushri's blessing, my mind become virtuous. As well, I prostrate to my spiritual master, who helped us develop all of path of Bodhisattva, all of path of the Dharma. 10 directions, mother sentient beings. In order to 10 directions, mother sentient beings suffering, removing. How the Manjushri have done dedication and aspiration prayer, may my character and conduct also become like that. Dashadik vayam priyant sattvarth sadhane yatha charitam manju gosham sa eva charya bhaven mam. Exactly that conduct and behavior, how the Manjushri was halt himself, and that conduct and behavior comes to me in order to make dedication and help to all mother sentient beings. Bhavatu sab manglang rakhantu sab devata sab buddhanubhaven dhammanubhaven sanghanubhaven sada sukti bhavantu te. Through the blessing of Buddha Dharma and Sangha, may all mother sentient beings feel healthy, happy, and separated from suffering. Bhavatu sarva mangalam. Loka samasta sukhina bhavantu. May all be auspicious. Good night. Thank you. Be happy. I'll look Sahai again. I will record it very soon. Don't worry. I'm okay, fine. Very energetic. Feel very, very energetic and blissful through by this retreat. Actually, last time when I was in Trashijong, from one great yogi, Amtinla, Tugden Amtinla, I received the Mahamudra, the preliminary practice transmission. Among them, I finished all of them, but I didn't satisfy it at that time. So I'm trying to, repeat all of those, the no prostration from the second part, the recitation of Vajrasattva mantra. And mandala cannot do is very tough, because and I'm reciting for 7 times, but Guru Yoga and the Vajrasattva I'm doing in very, very precise way, because now I have some understanding of Buddha Dharma. So I first contemplate it, then I process my practicing. So I feel satisfied with it. Thank you very much. Good night. Shubhratri. This is my room. Sopema. It's night time. It's almost 12:10. Good morning.